Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make this mini mushroom design, which was designed by me. I got some requests after doing the big mushroom to make a mini mushroom, and I've tried a couple different versions, but it took me a while to get it right. So this is the final version. It won't blurry. The tops are actually both the exact same. I think it's just the bands I use that this one looks like way bigger, but yeah. Yeah, so I like it. This guy definitely looks the best. I accidentally put his eyes too close together, and I'm not sure how I feel about this guy. I feel like he looks better without his cheeks, but my sister told me to give him cheeks, but I think we're gonna take those out. So yeah. See, I like him better like this. And these are actually like super small. So part of the problem why it took me so long to get this design was I didn't want it to look too close to my other mushroom design, so I wanted it to be like significantly smaller. And that took a while to get. So here's my big mushroom and here's the little one. So as you can tell, they're like totally different sizes, but I went through a couple that were like just barely smaller, but I really wanted them to be pretty small. So yeah, so I'll be showing you how to make this today. And of course, because it's so small, it's pretty light on bands. So in total, it takes 107 bands. It takes about 70 of the top color and then about 40 of the white. And yeah. So, yeah, I think that's it. The only thing is, because I know, like, everyone wants to know, like, the difficulty of this design, it is a little tight because of how we start in things, and, like, doing this bit's a little tight. But other than that, it's not too bad. So, yeah. So today, for the colors, I forgot to take my colors out. Bit of a mess. It's fine. So today for my mushroom, the colors I'm going to be using are going to be this, pink color, well, pink and purpley color for the top, and then for the mushroom bottom I'll still be using white, and I just dropped white everywhere. I dropped a white band, but I don't know where it went, so yeah. But I think that's all I wanted to say about this design, so we can get started. So of course, to make this design you're going to need some bands, a C-clip, stuffing, you know, all the usual stuff. I feel like I always forget to say what you need, but I don't know. I feel like if you're coming to a Loomigurumi tutorial, you should know. Yeah, I'm going to be using my double-ended hook, not because we need two ends, but just because I always use this hook. And yeah, now that's it. I think we're going to get started. I feel like I'm having a scatterbrain day. This tutorial is going to be fun. So we're going to start with the top color, so just get that. I'm putting some bands on my fingers like right now, like I always do. And yep. I haven't even posted this design on Instagram yet, which is weird because usually I'll post it on Instagram first and then do the tutorial. But I'm doing it opposite today, so yeah. Okay. So to start, you're just going to wrap a band 3 times around your hook. So 1, 2, and 3. So it should look like this. And then you're going to get another band. You're going to pull it through the whole cap band. Put both ends back on the hook. And then you're going to push the back one over the front one. And then you're going to go back into just the cap band. And you're going to pull a band through just the cap band, so not this last loop. Put both ends back on your hook, and then push the back one over the front one. And then you'll push the loop that we left over from last time over as well. And we're going to do that 2 more times until we have 4 stitches in this cap band. If you want a more, like, slower explanation of how to do, like, the magic ring or whatever, I have a Loomigurumi Basics video. And in that video, I say how to do it a little slower, because I know I go a little fast here. But yeah, so we're just putting 4 stitches in this cap band. So once you think you have 4, to make sure you're just going to count your loops, so you'll count, this is 1, 2, 3, and that's 4. And don't count this band that looks like it might be a loop right here, because it's not, because you can tell it's a horizontal band right there. So once you've made sure you have 4 loops, instead of going back into the cap band, you're going to go into the first loop. So like I said, not this one, you're going to go into this one. And then you're going to pull a band through just the loop, put both ends back on, push the back one over the front one, and then push the loop from last time over as well. And then we'll be putting a C-clip on this band. Like that. There's a piece of stuffing fuzz. So now we're going to be increasing everything, and what that basically means is we're going to be putting 2 stitches in every loop until we get back to the C-clip. So this one already has 1 in it, so we're going to want to go back into the same loop and do another stitch, so that way it's an increase. So all an increase is 2 stitches in 1 loop, so into the next loop we're going to do 1 stitch, and then we're going to go back and do another, and that's an increase. And we're just going to keep doing this all the way around, so we're just putting 2 stitches in each loop. So 1, and then 2, oops. One, I'll go back in and do another one, 2. And then once we get to the C-clip, all we're going to do is we're going to go through the loop that has a C-clip on it. I ran out of band, so I needed to pick up more. So we're just going to go through the loop that has a C-clip on it, make a stitch, and then we'll move the C-clip up onto this band. So you just take it out and move it up, like that. So after that last row, you should have 8 loops. So if you count, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Yeah. So that was it for that row. I need to pick up more bands. But for the next row, we are going to be increasing every third, and we're actually going to increase every third for 2 rows. So, yeah. I don't know what to say. I also don't know if I'm going a little fast. I'm dropping bands everywhere. Okay. So like I said, we'll be increasing every third loop. Yeah, for 2 rows. So what that means is basically on every third one we'll do an increase. But so this one's 1, and then the next one is 2. And then on this third loop, we're going to do an increase, so that just means we put 2 stitches in this one. So 1, 2. And we just keep doing this all the way around, so we'll do 1 single stitch. Then we do another single one, so 2. And then in the third loop, we'll do an increase, so put 2 in this one. It's also kind of hard to see what I'm doing, and I'm sorry about that, but it's just because this is very tight. And now I think we just do single ones until we get to the C-clip. So 1, 2. And your last increase is going to land on the one with a C-clip on it, but we don't do an increase on this one. So we just do a single stitch and then move it up. And then after this last row, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You should have 10 loops around. Let me just fix something in my pattern because I had that wrong. 10. Okay. So now we are going to be increasing every third again. So we're just going to do the same thing we just did again. So this is 1, 2, and this one's 3. So we do an increase. So it's 1 stitch. Then we go back in and do another one. And also we'll do 2 single stitches or normal stitches again. So 1, 2. And then we are going to do an increase on this one. Like that. I need to pick up more bands. But you just keep doing that all the way around. So you just do 2 single or normal stitches and then you do an increase. And I'm just picking your bands. Okay. So we just increase, so we're going to do 1. Oops. And then 2. Do an increase. And I think after this one it's just, yeah, we're almost at the C-clip. Once again, once you get to the C-clip, oops, you're just going to make a stitch on the band that has a C-clip on it, and move it up. So after that last row, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You should have 13 loops. And it should be starting to look something like this. Yeah, and if the top looks, actually the top of mine looks perfect. So yeah. So after that row, I'm sorry, I'm fixing my instructions. It's because I had some of the numbers wrong. We're just going to be doing one row normal, so we're just going to be putting one stitch in every loop all the way around until we get back to the C-clip. And after this row, we should still have 13 loops, so yeah. I'm making sure I counted correctly. Wait, do we have 14? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, we have 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, we have 13. Okay, I was just making sure. Okay, so now we're just going to do one row normal around like I said, so we're just putting one stitch in each loop until we get back to the C-clip. This design is pretty quick to make because it's so small. But yeah, so we're just doing one stitch in every loop. And once you get back to the C-clip, once again, we'll just move it up. Like that. So if you count around after this row, you should still have 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Like that. So now we are almost done with the top. So we're going to do a half row, is what I usually call it. Where we basically only grab the inner half of the loop. So that way it makes this edge and it kind of makes the bend in. And I'm just picking up more bands again. This design actually comes together, like, I think I already said that, like, super quickly. I keep forgetting what I already said. Not that color. I accidentally put a band of the wrong color on my hand. I have a bunch of different colored bands on my desk. I really need to clean up. Still picking up bands. Okay. So like I said, we'll be doing a half row this row and also decreasing on the third again. So half row. So basically all a half row is we're going to be grabbing this inner loop and not the outer part. So normally when you go through the loop, you go through the whole thing, but you're only going to grab the inner half. And we're going to only make a stitch on that. And of course we're also decreasing on the third. So this is 1, this is 2. So this next one's the third. And normally when I decrease, I grab the inner loop and then the back part of the next loop. We're going to grab both the inner loops. Like that. And then make a stitch on these. And I'll show you that again in a second. So we're grabbing only the inner loop. So 1, and then 2. And then on this one, we'll do a decrease. But like I said, you're only going to grab both parts of the inner loop. So normally I'll do the inner and then the outer, but you're just going to grab both the inner for the decrease of the first loop and then the next loop. I hope it's not too confusing. Then we'll go 1, 2, and then both the inner parts. And then still only on the inner loop. And then on the one that has the C-clip on it, just go through the whole loop. And then move the C-clip up. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing here because it starts getting a little tight. And we just move it up. that. Looks pretty good so far. Okay, so after that last row, I almost forgot to count. You should have 10 bands, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. 10. Okay. So this is going to be the last row with this color, and we're just going to decrease everything. And I'm just picking up a few more bands. So we're just going to be decreasing everything, and we're not doing a half row anymore, so when you decrease, you're going to grab the front part of the first loop and the back part of the next loop. So just like how you normally decrease. And we're just decreasing everything until we get back to C-loop. It is really hard to show you what I'm doing. Okay, so your last decrease is going to land on the band that has a C-clip on it, but we're not going to do it. So just do 2 single ones at the end. So 1, and then the one with the C-clip on it will also be a single one. After that last row, you should have 6 bands. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now we're going to switch over to the white. And also, we're going to want to stuff the top right now, because if we stuff it after this, it gets a little hard to stuff. I'm glad I remembered, because I swear I always forget to stuff this. But you're going to want to stuff the top part, so you can just take your hook out and let it hang on with a C-clip. And just stuff it. You could have also stuffed it 1 row before this, but I feel it's not too hard to stuff it right now. Oh wait, I think I got way too much stuffing. Yeah. Definitely got way too much stuffing. Oh, no, actually it's fine. We're good. Okay. So now your mushroom top should look something like this. And like I said, we're almost done, so yes. So now we're just going to make the bottom white part. So you're going to switch over to your white. We do have to do a color switch though, and usually, because this is the first one of the row, I'll actually redo this stitch. You don't have to do it, but I'll usually redo the last stitch that has a C-clip on it with white and color switch, so I'll pull it through everything on my hook, and then put the back one over the front one, and then we'll put the C-clip on this one. Like that. Just because the color switch is nicer. You don't have to do it. Yeah. But now we're going to be increasing every other loop, so this was the first stitch, so the next one's an increase. So 1, and then 2. Then we do 1 normal stitch or single stitch. And then we do an increase again, so 1, and then we go back and do another one, 2. Then we do a single stitch. Oops. Then we do an increase. That's not good. And then once you get to the band that has a C-clip on it, you're just going to do what we usually do. Make a stitch. I'm having problems. Make a stitch. And then move it up. Like that. So now we're going to do... Okay, my instructions are a little confusing. We're going to do 1 row normal. I don't remember if it's 1 or 2, so you're going to have to bear with me on this one. I was trying to figure it out beforehand, and I thought I wrote it down, but apparently I didn't, so yay for that. So we're just going to do 1 row around this, and also after that last row you should have 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Yeah, and now we're just going to do 1 row normal around this. I seriously can't remember if it's 1 or 2 rows normal, and I'm like, I think it might be 2 though. So yeah, we're just putting 1 stitch in every loop until we get back to the C-clip. Oop, it just went blurry. Oh, well now it's back to clear, that's weird. It went blurry for like a solid... Yeah, my camera's doing some funky things. There we go. Okay. 1, 2. And then... I'll just move the C-clip up. And after that last row, you should still have 9. So if you count, you should still have 9. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think I was right. You do 2 rows normal. Maybe. Let me. Yeah, I think we do 2 rows normal. So we're gonna do 1 row normal again. I should probably write that down. Okay, I wrote it down because I know I'm gonna have to put the pattern in the description. And I don't want to accidentally put it wrong. I don't know why I forgot to write that in either. But yeah, we're just gonna do 1 row around this again. So just putting 1 stitch in every loop until we get back to the C-clip. Almost there. Going around this bottom bit is so easy because it's just so tiny. And then once we get to back to the C-clip, you'll just make a stitch and move it up. So after that last row, you should still have 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what we just did is 2 rows normal in case anyone's lost. But yeah, if you ever get lost though, I do have the pattern in the description all the time, so in case you need it. Okay. So now we're going to be decreasing every other. So we just did 1 normal, so the next one's a decrease. So you grab the front part of the first loop, and then the back part of the next loop. And you just make a stitch. And because we're decreasing every other, the next one will be a normal or single stitch. So 1, and then do a decrease. It's kind of hard to show you me decreasing because it's so tight. So 1, then we do a decrease. And then once you get to the C-clip, we'll just make a stitch and move it up. Because we're going to want to put a tiny bit of stuffing in this bottom bit. And not a lot, just a tiny, tiny bit. I'm actually using polyfill today. Normally I use cotton balls, but I just had this on my desk. Oh gosh, just accidentally slapped my camera. Yeah, but normally I don't use this. It's just I had some on my desk today because I've been making Tsum Tsums and I like to put polyfill in those because it makes them like squishier. It's so hard to stuff, so I just went off camera to shove the stuffing in. But yeah, so that's why I'm using this today. But if you usually use cotton balls, you can still use cotton balls. It's the same. I think I used cotton balls for all of them, just not this one because I have this on my desk and I forgot to go get cotton balls. Also, because polyfill works just fine. If it would get in, it's so hard to stuff him. There we go. Okay. So now we're just going to decrease everything till it's closed, so you can take your C-clip out at this point. And yeah, we'll just be decreasing everything. So every stitch we do is going to be a decrease. And then once you can't decrease anymore, you're just going to pick the decrease up on your hook. And then with the decrease still on your hook, you're going to pull a band through everything on your hook. Push the back one over the front one, and then just pull it tight. And then we hide the tail. Okay. Okay. Trying to hide the tail. Okay. Hold on. I'm just gonna squish him around a little bit to get him how I want to look. Also, there's gonna be this one spot that looks a little weird. That's just because of where the C-clip was and stuff, but it's fine. Just look at the front. It'll be fine. So yeah. So your mushroom should look something like this. Simple, cute. So you can put eyes on it if you want. I mean, when I saw most of you make my bigger mushroom, you guys just put eyes. You don't really put mouths or cheeks or anything. And I kind of like that better for the small one because of how tiny he is. It was really hard to put a mouth on him, and cheeks, I don't think they look good either. So I think this is one that just looks cute with just eyes. So if you want to do eyes, you can wrap a band 4 times around your hook and then pull a band through, and that would work as an eye. Or you could use beads. I'm using beads. So yeah, there's one, and I'll go like right here. I don't know if this is too close. I'll tie it in. Like that. I think I might have stuck those a little too close together. But yeah, with your mushroom though, if the burn doesn't look right, just squish it like this. And it kind of makes it better. But yeah, that is it for this design. There's not much. Like I said, I kind of think this one looks cute with just eyes. I think I put his eyes a little low though. They probably should have been on this row up here, so I'll probably move them in a bit. But I hope your mushroom came out okay. And I hope you're happy with it. I think because I use the same type of bands as this one is why it looks more like this mushroom than the other mushroom, but I still really like it, so it's okay. If you make any of these mushrooms design, definitely show them to me on Instagram. I love seeing whenever anybody makes my designs. Subscribe if you want to see more tutorials from me. I'll be making more tutorials soon. I'm actually probably going to put tutorials out a little faster because I know spring break's coming up for everybody. That way you guys have things to make. Also because I know I am very behind on tutorials. Yeah. But I think that is it. I don't think I have anything. Oh, I actually do have something to show you. So I posted these on Instagram, but it's a dinosaur. Oh, and a bit of a secret of this guy, which you couldn't tell in the photo because I posted him like this, but I haven't done his 2 other legs, so there's that. But yeah, these guys will definitely be soon because everyone really liked them, and I was kind of surprised and happy with that. But yeah, I think that's it for this tutorial. I hope your mushrooms turned out okay, but bye.